This is me at the tender age of 4. I was constantly suffering from fear. I was so afraid of the dark that I couldn't sleep without a lamp. However, one day when I was 6, I decided I couldn't be sleeping the rest of my childhood like this. So I decided to face my fear, and believe it or not, it worked. I was no longer afraid of the dark. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered why you feel scared or worried? These are just some of the many examples that showcase fear. Fear is one of the toughest emotions to deal with, and if not dealt with correctly, can escalate into a larger problem, both physically and mentally. First, let's talk about fear. Fear is a negative emotion that typically occurs from the threats of pain, danger, harm, or when someone is worried about someone or something. Fear can also be caused from stress, in which stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline are released, which causes your heart rate and blood pressure to increase. This will make you breathe faster and even changes your blood flow, which actually drives the blood away from your heart and into your limbs. For example, if you see a snake, stress hormones are released, which increases your blood pressure and heart rate. This will make you breathe faster, and because it changes your blood flow, the blood will start to flow away from your heart and into your limbs, making it easier for you to run away. However, despite fear being useful in some scenarios, it is the cause of almost all clinical mental health problems and is the main cause for some of the most common ones, such as anxiety disorders, depression, and attempting suicide. Fear is also a main reason of poor physical health. An estimated 10% of people in the US have specific phobias, 7.1% experience social phobias, and 0.9% have agoraphobia, which is when a person avoids places or situations in which they feel unsafe, where they feel trapped, or where leaving places like these could be embarrassing. Another situation in which fear is present is when a person has a bad experience with something and is afraid to repeat what they just did because they fear the same thing will happen again. This is just one of the many situations in which the importance of controlling and knowing how to deal with their fears is emphasized. However, when someone learns how to cope with fear, it becomes a much more minor problem. There are many exercises people can practice that help them fight fear and reduce its effects. Some ways I like to cope with fear are to take deep breaths, as this clears and calms my mind, fight my fears, as this helps me eventually get over them, and talk about them to someone I trust, as they can give me advice and help me deal with my fear. For example, before I signed up for this event, I knew I needed to practice some techniques to reduce fear so I don't get scared in this very moment. This whole time, I was just taking deep breaths, which made me feel relaxed and not get nervous or scared. So if this simple technique of helping me deal with my fears helped me prepare for this very moment, imagine how much it can help you in your everyday lives. However, if ignored, the long-lasting effects of fear can be extremely severe. It weakens our immune system and can cause damage to our cardiovascular system as well. Fear also has the potential to cause gastrointestinal problems, such as ulcers and irritable bowel syndrome, as well as decreased fertility. The importance of controlling and knowing how to deal with fear is so useful that it can also help us cope with many other emotions, such as anxiety, anger, and many more. For example, if I feel angry, but I talk to someone I trust, such as my mom, about why I feel angry, she can easily help me get over it. These are my reasons for why knowing how to deal with fear in our everyday lives is so important. I hope I've helped everyone here get over their biggest struggles and that everyone here has a clear idea on how to deal with fear as well as many other emotions. Thank you.